Well, shalom, shalom, everybody. Now, I've been building this little garden right here, and I've been doing it all by hand with a hoe and shovel. I mean, it's already kind of soft dirt, but I've been doing the rest of it with hoe and shovel. So Sherry Harryhurst, she decided, her and Terry, they went out and they got a little something for me to work this garden a little better with, because I'm trying to do it in the old ancient path. I'm trying to be like Adam and Abraham, not try to do so much with modern technology. But so today they went out and they found this little plow right here. See that little plow? It's got these little forks on the back of it. Now I've been hoeing these rows myself with a hoe. Like being on a hoe squad, and puts a little back work into it. But I want to demonstrate here how to use this thing, because this right here, if you're talking about living back in the days of Adam and how they had to hoe the ground, plant their seed with that zan and that nun, that plow, that nun and that seed. Well, a lot more work than what you think it is, especially when you get older. So anyway, I'm going to demonstrate a little bit on how to operate this a little bit more modern. Modern tiller here, a little Zam. You just get down there and you just push down on there. And you push down on the back of that really good. And you just put your back into it. You get them old rocks out of the way. Now, as you can see, it takes a little bit. As you can see, I kind of broke the handle right there as I was pushing down on it. But this handle had already broke. Now that one just matches it. But as you can see, that old joker right there plows pretty good. And as I was going down through here, I heard some rock down in the ground a little deeper. It didn't break up, but I'll come back with my hoe and dig it out. I got all these onions right here. Me and my wife and Sherry were planting the other day. I planted all these rows of corn right here, and that's thick. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows of corn here. I just wanted to say that we're in a agricultural war right now. Things are through this little pandemic thing that the world's been doing. We just in the middle of it. But now we got this war with Ukraine and Russia. Now let me talk about Russia and Ukraine for a minute. Y'all don't realize most of all of our wheat, agriculture, flour comes from Russia and Ukraine. They're not producing any wheat. They're not plowing and planting no wheat. Most of our market, American market, gets all of our wheat and flour and bread. Okay, products from Ukraine and Russia. you better get out there. You better start finding you some way that you can plant something. Plow and plant, people. It is coming. And I'm not trying to joke. I'm not trying to play with emotions. I'm not trying to bring fear. I'm bringing reality. The Hebraic word for prepare is atud. Prepare. It means prepare. Be ready. You know, we live in an agricultural provision of Yahuwah. All of our feast weeks, our whole calendar, everything is set up through agriculture. The whole picture alphabet, the Hebrew alphabet, the alphabet is all, it's all about agriculture, people. Get ready. All I can say is get ready. Don't be scared. You should be doing this stuff anyway. You'll understand Yahuwah better, and you'll understand provisions better if you just do it. Don't do it because you're afraid or scared. Do it to watch the natural things of Yahuwah. Do it to watch the seasons change, the calendar, the provisions that come out of it. Relate it back to the calendar and the appointed times of Yahuwah. Yeah. So, I got me a few little rows going today. There's a whole greenhouse right down here. I got germinating seeds and a bunch of seeds in the dirt ready for them to come up, put out here in this little garden. There's a bigger garden than what this is. It just goes on down a little bit further than what I'm showing, but you better get some wheat, some red wheat or white wheat. You can plant it in buckets. Listen to what I'm about to say. For every square foot, 12 by 12 of wheat that you plant. I mean, look, you see this right here, this little rock? That's about 2 foot by 2 foot. You know how much wheat, if I planted on just this little spot right here, you know how much wheat I would harvest in seed out of that little 2 by 2? Half a pound. Half a pound of flour, wheat flour. That's a lot for that little bitty space. Twice the size of my hand. Will give you an increase of a half a pound of flour. For 100 square foot of wheat in a small yard will bring you 50 pounds of flour, of seed to grind to make flour. 50 pounds. Now I want you to think about how many pounds of flour that you buy a year at the store. How many bags of flour? Do you go through 5 pounds in a month? Or does it take you 2 months? You see, if you look at it this way, that'll help determine how much wheat for you and your family, how much seed that you need by the poundage to grow. And it grows twice a year. Twice a year. You can harvest wheat twice a year. If you plant it now, you'll get a crop here before August. July. If you plant it in the winter time, it takes a little bit longer to get it going, to get it started. But by right after Pesach, and in between Pesach and Shavuot, you'll have your second harvest. You can do it twice a year on the same little plot. Now be careful about what grains you're using. There's some, you know, like I said, get some white wheat or red wheat. They're both food grade. And it don't take much space. You can do it in buckets, okay? You can do this in buckets and harvest it really easy. But we really, really need to start thinking ahead of the game. And if you don't plant it, go get the seeds. Go get you some wheat seeds and have it stored up. Because I'm not trying to scare anybody, but if you have the seed for when the times do come, you've been attuned. You've been obedient to Yahuwah being attuned, prepare to be ready. You stand a chance. Provide to let Yahuwah give provisions in an agricultural provision. Barak Yahuwah, I thought you'd try to see what all I'm doing here a little bit. And I'm excited. See, I'm fixing to grow some wheat and some barley. This fall I'm going to grow some wheat and barley together, but I'm going to grow some wheat now and get me a little harvest. Make my own grain. I got a hand grinder. Bake my own bread. Get out of all this stuff they've been adding to the food and adding to the flour, all these extra chemicals and all these extra things. Barak Yahuwah.